Hi guys, I'm gonna continue to keep posting these videos, but I am gonna let you know that I am live Monday nights on YouTube at around 7 o'clock. Just something to do on a Monday night. Ain't no Monday night football, so I might as well do something. So what's going on? Let's see. We have let's see. Cruz screwed his career up by going to Cancun while the rest of the people in Texas froze to death. We have that one. We have people running to either kiss Trump's ass or run as far away from him as possible. Again, that's just stupid to be afraid of that idiot. Nothing going on. We're getting the vaccine down here. It'll be maybe a month before I get mine, maybe 2 months before I get mine. They say, who knows? I have no idea. Down here you have organized crime definitely involved in it. So you don't know what's going to really happen. You don't even know if the drug you're getting is real. Oh yeah, I put this on my written blog. The governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, decided to hit the flags in the state at half-mast because Rush Limbaugh died. I don't, know where that's anywhere is appropriate, since he was spouted nothing but racial bullshit and lies and stuff. He was a cantankerous old man. I don't, wish him bad or anything like that. I hope he's okay. I hope he's in a happy place now. But he wasn't a nice man as far as I can tell. So that's a mistake for Ron. And again, this all boils down to you have a system out here, this two-party system, and it creates this you're either on one side or the other, or you try to be an independent, or you do absolutely nothing. Now, I have friends that do absolutely nothing, yet they want Social Security, they want this, they want that, they want everything, but they don't want to do anything about it. If they don't get it, they'll yell and scream. I'm fairly certain Trump gets a check. I don't know what he does with it. Some of the others will too, but the way I remember it, if you're a lifelong politician and you haven't had any other jobs, you probably don't get it, but you get a pension that's better than anything anybody else is going to get. You get the hospitalization for life, you get your full salary for life. So, it's a trade-off. I don't know how many years you have to work in the Senate. I don't think you have to do more than maybe 8 years or something like that, or maybe it's just one term, 6-year term. I don't know how that works out. I'll have to look into that when I get off of here. But that's the two-party system forces people to make a decision. And the problem I have with that is that they don't sit down and think about the decision they make. They just make a decision. They won't vote Democrat. They're a Republican. They won't vote for something the Democrats want, even though it may be beneficial to them. But I can go on over this over and over and over again, and either people don't listen or they don't care. So move on. All right, I'm curious as to what's going on with Social Security. You hear all this stimulus money and all this, something's going to pay for it, and I don't want it to be my Social Security check unless they're going to, somehow or another figure out another way to help me live, I think I agree with some of the Republicans that this is a lot of money, and I don't know where it's all going, as they are, it's this and the other thing. I think you should take care of the people that are sick and the people that are not so, if they're unemployed, well, you have unemployment to take care of that, up the unemployment, but if you're going to sit there and spend all this money, and it's gotten to the point where it's going to be, when they're done with it, it'll be $3 or $4 trillion. My comment is that, what are you doing? Just printing money? I mean, someplace along the line we have to, bills are coming due. You're going to have to pay some of this money out someplace. You have to get the money from somewhere. Where are you getting it from? and I don't think that's been clarified yet. You know, the logical assumption is that you'll be paying for it with increased taxes. What taxes? I don't know. You know, it's like you look at the state that I lived in when I was in America, New Jersey. They have what they call there's a thing that they refer to as nuisance taxes. The taxes on gasoline and the taxes on cigarettes. So what happens when the bottom falls out of the cigarette market and gasoline becomes so expensive people aren't using it as much, and they're getting much more economical cars and they're not driving as much, so you're losing revenue there. Where does the difference come from? Now, they have a sales tax in New Jersey, which helps a little bit, I guess. I don't know whether it does or it doesn't. It was supposed to, I forget what it was originally supposed to pay for that it's not paying for. It's like the lottery was supposed to pay for education, and I don't know where that money goes. You know, one of these days somebody should sit down and demand an audit of all the states. If you live in a state and you have a sales tax and you have a lottery, you should demand an audit to see where this money is going. Where is it being spent? You know, make sure that you know where every dime is going. I think you're going to be surprised when you find out the results of that one. Or maybe you won't be surprised. If you're me, you won't be surprised. But let's see, where else can I go that's exciting? Weather's playing havoc in Texas, and I feel bad because of the weather, but a lot of it's their own fault. They apparently, from what I'm understanding, is that they decided they didn't want to be part of the national grid, and so they made it sort of an independent operation. And what's happening now is that they don't have any resources to get the electricity. So if you wipe out a station, you know, you're wiping out the whole grid of Texas, probably something like that. I'm not sure I got that accurate, so don't go off and say this or that or the other thing. You know, I told you I don't do a lot of factual broadcasting here. It's opinions and hearsay a lot. So you know, difference is I tell you that, I don't tell you it's a fact. But you know, blaming everybody else, and you know, Texas has always been very, very independent. Texans are known notoriously for their independence, and I have nothing wrong with that. That's fine. That's dandy. You know, when the oil economy is way up there, Texas didn't care. You know, but now, you know, it's a different story. You know, we all have to live together on this planet. You got to help one another, and if we don't, we're gonna become extinct, just like the other animals did. You know, they didn't help one another. They were all independent. You know, only the strong survived, and that didn't work out real well for them. You know, because what survived was the planet. The planet was the strongest thing, but the rest of the animal life and whatnot, humans and whatnot, they all left. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Is this pandemic a prelude to one of the plagues God sent upon us? You know, that's quite possible. You know, this could be the end of days. You know, if you believe in that stuff. I'm not going to be around, but my family will be. My grandchildren and stuff will be around. And I worry about that. I worry about everything. You know. Someplace along the line, people think old people don't care. That's because they look at politicians, and old politicians don't give a shit about what the young people are doing. You know, I care what happens to young people because I have young people in my family that I love and I care about. You know, my grandkids, I know other people's grandkids. You know, we all have this, and we don't leave a future for it. Rich people don't leave a future for them. You know, politicians don't leave a future. They care about today. They tell you they're looking at the future. They're not. They're looking at how to pay the bills today. You know, let's take a look at Amazon. And I use Amazon a lot. It's my favorite company. I use it all the time. Half the stuff in this house comes from Amazon. But here's the deal. You know, if it comes to a choice between what's going on today and what's going on tomorrow, what might happen tomorrow, they're going to take what comes today because they're looking at the bottom line. All corporations look at the bottom line. CEOs look at the bottom line. They don't care what's going to happen 25 years. If they're 65 years old, they don't care what happens with 25 years from now, because they're not going to be there. Look at oil executives. You think oil executives care what's going to happen in 35 years? And there's no oil because we misused it and we weren't prepared for it or anything like that. Look what's happening in Texas. They're not prepared for the loss of electricity. Eventually these things are going to go away unless we do something else to provide the source for this energy. Well, let's see. That's I can sit here and I can find things to bitch about, like man, my chair's uncomfortable. My back itches. My wife's on this crazy diet. Drinking smoothies in the morning and then having cappuccinos and candy bars for lunch. So it's a little strange around here. Like I said, I want you to take a look at me live. Because then you can sit there and you can call me names, and I'll be able to see you calling me names right away, and we can get in an argument or something, or I can answer a question. I told you I do carvings, and now I do pyrography or wood burning. I do a lot of that. Some is good, some are better than others. But it's fun. It keeps me busy, just like sitting here keeps me busy and whatnot. People like this one, thought it was pretty good, and people thought this one was pretty good. I don't know. You can answer that question for me. I learn something new every time I do one of these things, so it's good that way. Carving, I'm not doing too much of it right now. I have certainly have problems with my hands. The old age symptom. Could be anything else too. I get bit by every every kind of bug known to mankind. When I go out, I had a bite on my ankle. It still hasn't. It's completely healed, but there's still discoloration where it was, and that was 4 or 5 months ago. It took over 6 weeks for the thing to stop to heal up. So we had some strange bugs down here. Ruby went crazy the other day because we had a millipede in the house, and I'm not sure if this one was poisonous or not. I don't have time to look it up. When she's screaming, "Get this thing out of the house! Get this thing out of the house!" And my dog is just curled up on the couch. Don't bother me. It's Antonia. I still want to get you some pictures of Antonia. I don't know if she stays at. I look behind me because sometimes she's behind me and she doesn't let me know. Because she likes to be around me. But when Ruby's here, she stays in the living room with her, which is good because this is not this isn't a good place for anybody. It's kind of dusty and everything in here. So all right. Listen again. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. If you got something you want me to talk about, what can I tell you? To go to Facebook, Jeffrey Bruff, and leave me a comment or something. Say something to me there if you can, or try and do a comment on one of these videos. On this video, comment on this video on YouTube, and if you want an answer or you have a question, I will be happy to answer it about anything. You want to know about a little bit of wood carving, you want to know a little bit about pyrography, you want to know an opinion of mine on something, you want to know did I actually finally check something out? I'll let you know, okay? In the meantime, take care.